and I am going to introduce Nichole Michaels.
Good afternoon. Don't let me interrupt your writing. Do your writing. You can do two things at once, I'm confident. Good afternoon, senators. Good to see you. Looking good, looking good. All right. Is this better?
Super close.
I'm going to be really close. Is that better? Good afternoon. My name is Nichole Michaels. I'm a researcher and assistant professor of pediatrics and public health. My remarks today are my own, and I am not speaking on behalf of my employer. My lab's research focuses on preventing injuries and deaths from drug overdoses, child abuse, firearm injuries, and other violent means. These are among the leading causes of death in the U.S., but the government's recent actions involving the National Institutes of Health, the NIH, have left me questioning how long we'll be able to continue our work. The NIH is the largest public funder of biomedical and behavioral health research in the world. Locally, Ohio receives more than $1 billion in NIH research funding annually. This money supports more than 13,000 jobs across the state. The federal government does not give out its research dollars freely. It takes months of teamwork to put together a high-quality funding proposal, and the review process is multi-layered and it's rigorous. For those of you who are not fortunate enough to live with a scientist, let me tell you that grant funding has a way of taking over your whole life. I have written grant research proposals while my babies were asleep on my lap. I've written grant proposals during holidays and vacations, and in the wee hours of the morning while my family was asleep. Honestly, it's exhausting. But without that money, we can't do the work that saves lives. We can't find ways to prevent injuries and violence. We can't find cures for cancer or treatments for depression, heart disease, stroke, and we can't pay staff or run our labs. The federal grant funding system is not perfect. Like anything, it has room for improvements, but it has helped make our nation the global leader in health research, and that system is under attack. Simply put, this administration is attempting to dismantle the NIH from the inside out. Research grant opportunities aren't being published. Existing calls for proposals are being rescinded, often after the applications have already been submitted. So imagine you've spent months, you've given up family time, you've given up opportunities to mentor your students because you've got to get this grant out, and they just say, we're not interested in that anymore. Study sections and advisory councils that review funding proposals have been halted, and this is keeping new science from being funded. And perhaps worst of all, every day I hear of another colleague whose research funding from the NIH has been revoked. In official letters that are full of lies and dripping with disdain, they are told that their science is wrong, that it's unimportant, that it is of no value to the American people. A new list of terminated NIH grants was published this week. It includes more than 300 arbitrarily canceled grants that this administration has canceled over the past month. The canceled grants cover topics ranging from suicidality among LGBTQ youth, to drinking water contamination, to preventing the transmission of HIV. Many of these studies are already underway. Some of them have been going on for years, and the funding is being pulled out right from underneath people. For some researchers, this means having to let their staff go suddenly and without warning, and shuttering their labs. And for research that involves human study participants, it also means stopping the interventions unexpectedly, ending cancer trials and other life-saving treatments, and eroding the public's trust and willingness to participate in future research. So I would really like someone to explain to me, perhaps, how terminating research grants in this way increases government efficiency. These canceled grants represent hours of time and resources squandered, millions of tax dollars wasted on studies that will never be completed. These are our tax dollars, yours and mine. tax dollars that were designated to research to improve lives. But make no mistake, these cuts will result in lives lost here and around the world. Lives will be lost and people will suffer, especially the most vulnerable among us. That's true. And there will be a ripple effect. Graduate students whose training can no longer be supported by their institutions will move on, and they may leave science altogether. For the past 2 years, my lab has hosted students as part of the National Institute on Drug Abuse's Summer Research Internship Program. The initiative, which has been in place for 28 years, is designed to provide hands-on learning opportunities for students from diverse backgrounds who have an interest in substance use and addiction research. In February, we were informed that that program is canceled. If this gutting of the NIH is allowed to continue, we will lose a generation of scientists. And so I spend my sleepless nights wondering, will I be next? Will I receive the letter tomorrow instructing me to shut down my research? Will they cut the indirect funds that help our institution maintain lab spaces and administrative services that are essential for our work? Will they cut Medicaid dollars, causing a cascading effect that will wipe out the entire research institution? And mostly I worry, how do I protect my team? I work with the best people. They are smart, they are dedicated, they are kind. They're the kind of people that you want your own children to grow up to be like. People who work hard and do the right thing and care about others. At my institution, we've been encouraged to keep focusing on our research, but there's also anticipation that the coming weeks will bring more and more research that is shut down. Research studies will be shut down, and trainees and postdoc scientists will lose their funding. But for today, we keep working because we believe in science, and we believe everyone should have the opportunity to attain their full potential for health and well-being. And so for now, we'll stay the course. But we need your support. We need people to speak up. So today, I'm asking you to reach out to your representatives and tell them to stop gutting the NIH. Truly, countless lives depend on it. Thank you.